Okay? Second page, we're going to go through these practice problems and help you get ready for the quiz tomorrow. Okay? We are learning how to solve a system of equations, so two equations we're working with, and solve them by graphing. And we're also learning how to check the solution to see if it works for both equations. And that's what the first section is about. If you're given two equations, like in number 1, x plus y equals 4, and x minus y equals 6, and then you're given a solution, and you have to put those numbers into the equation. Right, Max?
How did we get yes for one?
I don't know, we did that one together yesterday.
I don't even know.
Okay.
I guess
So here's the works. And you and I worked through this one together. Okay?
Yeah, I think it's
How about number 3? Stop talking now. Number 3 is yes. How do you know? Sam?
Well, it says negative x, and it's already negative, so it'll be like plus x, it'll be positive.
Okay.
And then
Yep.
it'll be 1 plus 9 equals 2, and then 2 times 5 equals 10.
Right, so 1 plus 9 is 10, right?
Yeah.
So it works for the second equation. How about the first equation? That one is 2 times x equals y minus 7. Caleb? No, we're on number 3. Follow along. Girls. Go ahead, Caleb. What about the first equation? Does it work for the first equation?
Yes.
I don't. For the first equation, tell us why.
Oh, I know.
Amelia. Two times what? What's the x number? That's given in the point. Okay, well let's just think through it now, Caleb. You need to make sure you know how to do these. Okay? So look at the first equation. 2 times x. And what is x? That's given. No, it's given to you. Ava, be quiet. Negative 1. And what's y?
5.
Yep. So does that work?
Yeah.
Now explain how. What is the answer when you put that in?
7 minus 5.
2 times negative 1 is, what's 2 times negative 1? What is 2 times negative 1, Caleb? Negative 2 is on one side. What is the y?
5.
5. 5 minus 7 is? 5 minus 7 is negative 2. So negative 2 on both sides. One equals the other. Okay? You understand how to do these? Okay. Because you're going to have to do this on the quiz tomorrow. Alright. Number 5 we did together. In number 5, they give you the first equation. Johnny, what's the first equation? In number 5?
Y equals 6 plus 5.
Yep. So how do you graph that?
5 on the y-axis.
Okay.
2 on the x-axis.
Here. No. Ava, that's your second. Keep going, Johnny. What is the slope? It's 2x plus 5. We did this, you did this one yesterday. This is where we practiced it yesterday, and now I'm asking you to repeat what you did yesterday. Okay? It's right there, we graphed it, great. Johnny, so you mark 5 on the y-axis, and what's the slope? What's the number next to the x? 2. So how do you graph that? Is it positive 2 or negative 2? Positive 2, so you should go up or down? Up how many? Up 2, and then over, no, 2 is a whole number. So to write a whole number as a fraction, you write it over what? 1. Johnny? Look. Johnny, look. Over 1. So do you go right 1 or left 1? Right 1. Up 2 and right 1. So from 5, look. From 5 on the y-axis, the slope is 2 over 1, so you go up 2 and right 1. Mark that point. You can also go from the 5 down 2 and left 1. Because that is 2 negative moves. And that's also positive. It's on the same line, isn't it? So you mark all those points. Mark as many as possible. Okay? Does that make sense? Do you know where the 5 came from? Johnny? It's from the equation. You said the y-intercept is 5. Johnny, right? Okay. And the slope is what? What's the other number? 2. How do you write that as a fraction? 2 over
15.
What is it? You said it before. 2 over what? What is it? 2 over 1. So you go up 2 and over 1. Okay? Next equation. That one is x plus y equals 8. How do you solve that for y, Max?
Well, you subtract x
Yep.
from both sides, so you get negative x plus 8. Y equals negative x plus 8. Then you go, and then on the y-axis, you go up to 8. And then you go down 1 and right 1.
Yep. Because the slope is
Slope is negative.
negative what?
Negative 1.
Yeah, negative 1. Look, it's a negative x. And you can think of that as just negative 1. Okay? So you go negative 1 over 1 and mark that point. And when you look at the line, it's going down to the right. That's always a negative slope. Up and to the right is always a
Positive.
Yep. All right. So we found that point where they cross at 1, 7. And then put those numbers into the equation, and they make both equations true. Okay? Number 7. One of the equations is y equals x plus 5. So mark 5 on the y-axis and go up 1 and over 1. Because it's just 1 over 1x. So it's 1 over 1. Yep. Draw that line. And then in the blue equation, that's 8 on the y-axis. Y-intercept is 8. The slope is -2. So it's down 2 over 2. And then ignore these points right here. I messed up when I was graphing this. It's down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. So this is the line. It crosses at 1, 6. You put those numbers in, check your solution, what makes them both true. Any questions on that one?
Got 2, 7.
You must have graphed one of the equations wrong.
You guys did it wrong.
Yep. Yeah. Number 9. What's y equals 6 mean? Gracie?
It's like this horizontal.
Yeah, it's just a horizontal line. It means that y is always 6. No matter what x is, y is always 6. So 0, 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6. It gives you those points that are on a horizontal line, okay? Don't sharpen your pencil right now. And then, the second equation, Maddie, y equals 2x minus 2, right? So, what is the y-intercept? No, look. Y-intercept is the number that's not next to the x. -2. So you mark -2, right? And then, what's the slope? 2. So you go up 2 over 1. Very good. You go all the way up, and that's where it crosses at 4, 6. Okay? Adam. Adam, stop talking. Amelia, stop talking. Well, stop that too. You guys, we can't have 20 people doing that, okay? Stop talking. AJ. Yes.
So if they had been talking the whole time, then we got in trouble.
They will if I hear them.
What? She's helping. I've just been explaining it. Yeah, she's been explaining it. I'm just saying, not saying that's wrong.
Okay. Anyway, the point is, they cross at 4, 6. So if you put those in, how do you check this one, y equals 6? How do you check that? Right?
You're at 6 equals 6.
Yeah, because this is the y coordinate, so you just write 6 equals 6. That's true. That's so simple to check. Okay? You just take your y coordinate and write it in the place of y. Alright, it just looks a little different. You check it a little bit different because there's nothing else to do. Alright? Number 11. Emily, how do you graph the first point?
I didn't get this.
The blue one.
I didn't get this one.
Well, look at it now. The equation is y equals -x minus 3.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the y-intercept? It's the number without the x. Which number is not next to the x?
-3?
-3. The y-intercept is -3. Yep. So you go down 3 and mark that on the y-axis, right?
Sure.
And then what's the slope? It's the coefficient of x.
There's no number by x.
Yeah, it's a -x, so it'd be a -1x. -1x. Alright? Whenever there's not a number, it's just 1 or -1. Okay? Adam. What's the, how do you write that? How do you write that as a fraction? -1?
Not fraction.
I know, how do you write it as a fraction? -1 over,
-1.
no, that would be positive. It's just 1. So you go down 1 and then right 1. -1 over 1. Any questions on how to graph that slope? -1 over 1. Any questions? So you graph -1 over 1, you draw that line. Okay? Then, look at the other one. -x plus 2. What's that y-intercept, Jordan? 2. So you go up 2 and mark that. What's the slope? Over 1. So it's the same, isn't it? If two equations have different y-intercepts, but the exact same slope, then they are going to be parallel. Because as you follow -1 over 1, -1 over 1, you get that line, and you can see those two lines are parallel. They'll never cross, right? They'll never intersect, and so there's no solution. Okay, does that make sense? And that's what you have to write for your answers, no solution. Can you check that? No, you can't. There's nothing to check. There's no point to check. All right? Number 13. Y equals -2x plus 1. And y equals -2x minus 1. What do you notice about these two equations? Sam? They're parallel. What about the equations themselves?
They both have negative, like,
They both have what? You're right.
they both have 2x in them, but one is negative.
No, they both have -2x.
But this one has.
But you have to solve it for
Oh, yeah,
y.
that is negative. That is negative.
Yeah, so when you solve it for y, they both have -2x. Alright, so they have the same slope. What is the slope, AJ? On those?
I don't know why you do it wrong.
Well,
What
look
are you
up
going
here. Yeah, no, this is 13. Yeah, so what is the slope?
No, actually, they're two separate things.
Okay, so what is the slope? When you solve the second one for y,
-2x.
it's -2 over 1. And the other one is -2 over 1. So they have the same slope but different y-intercepts. And they're going to be parallel, right? No solution. Okay.
So these are both wrong.
How about 15? What do you notice about these equations? Ava?
They're the same.
They're the exact same. Yep, they give you the exact same line. So when you solve the second one for y, you get y equals x plus 2. Okay? And so on the same line, they have the same slope, they have the same y-intercept, they are the same line. So there's an infinite number of solutions when that happens. Okay? And that's what you write, infinite solutions. Okay? Any questions? Adam?
So, if you had right answer, if you put, they both cross at 2.
No. They also cross at every other point.
Yep, they also cross at 2.
No, you have to write every point that they cross, and you can't do that, so you just have to write infinite.
I just did x on 2.
No, that doesn't work. Because one of your lines is wrong then. Okay? This is the only line there is. Or actually, it's the other one. This is the only line. This one doesn't It's not part of the equation. Any questions on what we're doing? It just takes more practice. It takes a lot of practice to get good at this. Okay? So I'm going to give you some more practice problems for tomorrow and another chance to learn how to do this. Any questions on solving for y? How are we doing at solving for y? Pretty good? Good? Not so good? Okay. Pretty good?
Like half.
How about the slope and the y-intercept? There was a lot of confusion today, or at least you're pretending to be confused, about what is the y-intercept? What is the slope? How are you doing on that? Okay? Good? Not good at all? Kind of good? Remember, the y-intercept is always the number that's not next to the x. Okay? And it's where that line crosses the y-axis. This one crosses at 1. This one crosses at -1. And that's the first point that you always mark when you're graphing. Does that make sense? Nod your head if that makes sense. You graph the y-intercept first. The number that is not next to the x. Okay? This is b in that equation. Remember when we talked about that? Whenever it's just a whole number, you always graph it over +1. And if it's -x, like it was on number 11, look at this equation right here. Okay? This is -x. So that means the slope is -1. You go down 1 and then right 1. Okay? Any questions at all before I let you do some practice? Sam?
Can we use a calculator on this quiz?
Yeah, but it's not going to help you get fractions.
Yeah.
And you're going to be using simple numbers like 1 and 3 and 2. And so, okay. Great?
Are there gonna be any questions where the lines cross, but they don't cross at a point on the
No.
grid?
No.
I don't think they do this.
No.
I'm pretty sure
In
that
fact,
comes out to 1/2.
Almost all of the questions from the quiz are going to be from the homework. Okay? So there might be one that's not from the homework, but I'm going to pick questions from your homework that you've done already and that I've shown you how to do. You just have to demonstrate then that you can do them. That you practice them and that you can do them. Great?
So is this quiz like the final test for this whole chapter?
Yeah. Yep.
What was the thing?
Okay. Yep.
Oh.
All right, so you can
Are you gonna use